Yeah, this video about to be real quick. I just wanted to get in here and talk about James Harden, aka titties over titles, and everybody who chose James Harden in this little conflict that happened between him and the Brooklyn Nets, and thought that James Harden, a person who hasn't ever proven that he can get over the hump and win the big game and lead a team to the promised land, somehow, some way thought that he was going to go to Philadelphia and lead another player in Joel Embiid, who also has never proven that he can get over the hump and win the big game and get his team to the promised land. So you got those two guys together, and you got people like Kendrick Perkins, Chris Broussard, Nick Wright, who just for some reason thought, and I'm not gonna say just for some reason, because Brooklyn Nets got a lot of turmoil, a lot of things going on, and even myself didn't like the way their offense looked throughout the season. That was a different story for the night. Their offense didn't look bad at all tonight, and I seen a lot of moving parts. I seen a lot of off the ball actions for their shooters, and it wasn't a lot of ISO ball and just stagnant offense. So I give it to them. They did have a reason to just see that how well Philly got off to a good start with James Harden versus what was going on in Brooklyn, to say that they won the trade. But I never thought that they won that trade. They gave up Seth Curry, a great scorer, a great shooter, with superstar and star and basketball just oozing through his DNA. You give that guy up. You give up Andre Drummond, who's a space eater, a rebounder, a defender, and someone that can also give you some points off the offensive glass and stuff like that. A little bit in the post play, and and Ben Simmons, who at what last year, who we were saying was on the verge of being a superstar, who had a little bit of Giannis in him, if he could develop it, who a lot of people thought could possibly be a number one. And then also you add the fact that he's just a first team all defensive guy. And these are all things that the Nets needed and was missing. There was missing a defender on the wing. There was missing a defender in the paint. And with Joe Harris going down, it was missing a shooter that can get them points. You gave all of that to the Nets for James Harden, who showed you tonight why everybody thought negative about him when it comes to big games and playoff games, right? So um, it showed tonight, and all of that, and you contrast everything that titties over titles. I mean, James Harden, you contrast everything that he stood for in big games, and then you look at what Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving stand for in big games, and it's the total opposite. I seen the look on Kevin Durant's face, the way I seen the look on his face when he had his first finals game against LeBron James. He was out for blood, and he was focused. He had a killer look in his eye, and you seen that before the tip off, and then you definitely seen it uh, when he got that dunk when he went down the middle in the first quarter, and he just looked at the crowd and gave them the craziest stare in the world. Right? I ain't see none of that passion from James Harden, and then Kevin Durant got it. Made a great defensive play on Joel Embiid, where he's guarding him down low, let Joel Embiid go straight through his chest. It was a player control. It should have been an offensive foul, but they called it on Durant. And Durant gets up chirping, boom, just going off on him. You know what I'm saying? And then the crowd, but you could see what was playing out is you get Ben Simmons, who had the issue with Doc, Joel Embiid, and whoever else he had an issue with in Philly. And also Seth Curry leaves and comes over here. And what do you think they've been talking about the last 4 weeks they've been over there in Brooklyn? Ben Simmons get over there and he gets embraced by Kyrie and Kevin Durant. And James Harden is the guy that said, I don't want to be around it. But Ben Simmons in turn embraced them as well. It seemed like it's a good match. And they are, I guess, in a sense, brothers, saying, don't even worry about this game. We'll circle this game. All right. March 10th. Don't even worry about it. You ain't got to play. Just show up, sit on the bench, and watch what you do. Watch what we do. And it was so perfect because Kyrie Irving just last week just went back to Boston where he gets booed at all the time and said, "Look, I'm gonna show you how you perform, even though they lost that game. Kyrie, I'm gonna show you how you go to Boston, who hates my guts and boos me. I'm gonna show you how you go in and you face them. I'm gonna show you that." Kevin Durant, another player who had to deal with that when Westbrook and the whole OKC and the whole NBA media was on Westbrook's side, calling this man a cupcake, a snake, and all this stuff. And he had to go to OKC and deal with that. He all chirping and getting in Russ' face. He had to do that 2-3 years in a row. The greats have to handle that stuff, right? Kobe, same thing. He had to go through it. Every time he went to Denver, Colorado, where he caught that charge at and get booed and then drop 40 and 35 on them and stuff like that and embarrass and snatch their heart. You shut them up. They didn't even give an opportunity for Ben Simmons to go out there and have to deal with that on the court and then have Embiid and all these guys trying to, don't even worry about it. We go take care of March 10th for you. You just get ready for everything after March 10th. It was just perfect, man. You can't even script it better. You can't even script it better, man. It was perfect, man. But Kyrie came out there unstoppable. KD came out there unstoppable. Seth Curry came out there. He hitting threes, and before he's shooting threes, before it even go in, he's turning around and looking at the Philly bench like, you idiots. You gave up me, Drummond, and Ben Simmons for this fat dude with these A cups. You gave up all it for A cups. I think they got a first round pick out of it too. You gave up a draft pick, Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, and a shooter for A cups. Also, he can come to a big game and do exactly what he just did. Crap the bed. I'm talking about everybody was stealing the ball from him. Kyrie Irving guarding him one-on-one, no double. I don't need no help. Every time he tried to go left or right, he just hitting Kyrie chest. Boom, boom. Rev had to bail him out. As a matter of fact, this game would have been over in the first quarter. If they would have been down by 30, had they not let Joel Embiid get these ticky-tack fouls and shoot 15 free throws in the first quarter. If Joel Embiid wouldn't have shot 15 free throws in the first quarter, they would have been down by 30 in the first quarter. Guaranteed. And the referees tried to help them, but you cannot help a team that's playing against a team that can't miss. And if Brooklyn is going to play like that, all my criticism of Brooklyn was their offense looking stagnant, and it looked like that Steve Nash didn't have an offense. Well, it looked like they had an offense tonight. So if it's going to look like that, the only thing they got to worry about now is Ben Simmons being healthy and Kyrie Irving being able to play home games. And if they get that going, oh man, it's gonna be bad news for some of these squads. Now, on the other hand, Philly's got an issue. Now they realize that honeymoon phase of James Harden coming over there is wearing off, right? The carriage is turning back into a pumpkin pretty soon. Now you realize you got a dude that's not going to help you on defense because he was getting cooked. And when it's the big game against the big teams and the big players, they're going to step up more than he is, and he's going to be small. Joel Embiid and James Harden deserve each other. They're one and the same, man. One and the same. But I'm gonna let y'all in here, man, so I can see what y'all think. Though I'm gonna share this link right there. I'm gonna let y'all in here. What's up, man? I still think the 76 is gonna be good. Okay, yeah, 76 will be okay. They'll be fine. But I think it's gonna be them together in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's possible if it's gonna be Philly and Brooklyn. It's very hard for me to think Brooklyn is gonna be able to do it this year because it's just too much, man. And they got to come back from. They got to possibly play in the play-in game and then be the 8 seed and have to beat the 1 seed. It's just a lot, you gotta. If they do get to the Eastern Conference Finals in the finals, then that means Kevin Durant pulled off something amazing. It's just too much stuff stacked up against them. But Still, I wouldn't want to be the number one seed. They got to face them in the first round. I really wouldn't. As far as Philly, um, come on, it's Joel Embiid, man. It's James Harden. These are two guys that don't have the history of showing up in those moments and being able to like do what Kyrie and KD just did tonight. We've seen KD do it. We've seen KD do it to LeBron twice, right? We seen him almost do it to Milwaukee by himself last year, right? So we know what they go do. We just don't have a history of James Harden doing that, and we don't have a history of Joel Embiid doing it either. They both came up small tonight. One thing I do like about Doc Rivers is if you don't got it tonight and you ain't helping us and the game's down, we down by 30, he's not going to let his superstar go out there and pad his stats like the Lakers let LeBron do when they down by 30. He sat Joel Embiid and Harden down and said, man, y'all stinking it up out there, sit down. But for Vogel, will let LeBron James go out there and get his numbers before he sit him down. And that's the thing I don't like. That's the thing I don't like. And I'm glad Doc Rivers sat James Harden down. Hey man, you stinking it up, man. You ain't got 11 points, and you wouldn't have those 11 if they didn't leave you open for three threes. Well, one of them he hit in Kyrie face, but two of them wide open. Just shoot it. He wouldn't have had those. Sit on down, man. You ain't about to pad your stats and get your number. Sit down. Um, Ben Simmons went and got his big brothers. Yeah, he did. That's basically what he did. Hey man, and KD said, "Look, man, don't even worry about this. This first one on us. I got you. I need Kyrie to understand they got a chance right now to win it all and get that vaccine." I disagree. He's already stated that that's not gonna happen. He's not getting the vaccine. I understand that. I think everybody has to understand that. Nobody should have to make a choice uh, to put something in their body that they don't want just so they can play basketball because someone else feels like your team has an opportunity to win, so you should go get the vaccine. That don't make sense. Like, I mean, I'm good with him now. I mean, would you be saying this if his team didn't have an opportunity to win? If his team didn't have an opportunity to win and he was on the Wizards, right? Probably not, or a team that's not gonna go. But if he was on the Rockets, a team not to make the playoffs, would you say then, you okay? Don't get the vax because y'all don't have a chance to win. Like it don't make sense for me to say you should get the vax because your team has a chance to win. One is, that's not a basketball issue. That's a life issue. You get what I'm saying? Like if, it just don't make sense to tell somebody to get a vax for basketball. If you want me to get the vax, then say get the vax for your life, not for basketball. And he's already okay with the risk of not getting the vaccine, and he's following the NBA protocols for unvaccinated players. And that's the case closed for me. 15 in the first. Imagine how many free throws him Harden gonna get. Um, yeah, but they got to make shots too, and they got to defend. The game proves that Harden and Embiid are no Shaq and Kobe. Hey, as soon as they said that Shaq and Kobe BS, as soon as they said it, the new Shaq and Kobe. Oh my God, I can't wait to hear Kendrick Perkins tomorrow. And all these clowns that was just crowning Philadelphia already for beating the Knicks twice in the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the Knicks had them down by like 20. They should have lost their game, right? And then they beat the Bulls. That was a good win. I give them that. The Bulls was a good win. You're right, though. I just want to see him at home games, but I support him standing on that. Yeah, me too, man. I want to see him at home games too, man. That's on the mayor, though. They should go ahead and make that call. All right, let me let y'all in though. B-Dot, you can come on in here and cook with us, man. What's up, Chris?
What's happening, Mel?
Hey, bro. That was a
It's a great
daggone
day to be a
virtuoso.
sports fan, ain't it?
I mean, it's a good day. I wouldn't say great yet. Great would have been
We'll,
if that
we'll,
was
we'll
if,
say
if
a
that was
great
the
couple of
finals.
days because the Lakers lost again to the worst team in the league. Brooklyn won against one of the top four teams in the league. It's just a great Great couple of days, man. Great couple of
Hey,
days.
you can go a little bit further back. When Carolina beat Duke, at Coach
I
K's
no,
last
you
home
know
game.
what? I wanted to see Coach K win that last game. I ain't even gonna
Oh
lie to you.
man, bruh, being a former
I was hurt. I was
Carolina
a little
fan.
hurt.
Oh, I
I was a
wasn't hurt at
little
all.
hurt.
I wasn't hurt. As a
I
matter of
fuck.
fact, I was
I
tickled
like
pink.
Coach K, man. I like Coach K.
I like him too. I like him better than the losers bracket though.
Mm, that's tough,
All right, tell me what you seen in the game, man.
man. So I got to watch a good chunk of it today, actually, and I was thoroughly. First off, I want to talk about the defense that Brooklyn played with today. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
they was fighting through screens, getting steals. I mean, it was.
Oh
I
man,
was like, yo, where did they get? They definitely did it for Ben.
they definitely did for being yeah,
They definitely did that for Ben. You know what I'm saying? And I commend Ben for going out there for the pregame shoot around and just being on that bench. And facing that music
yeah,
because he needed to hear that. Even if he wasn't playing, he needed to hear that because it was gonna happen eventually, and it might happen again whenever they see him again in Philly down the road.
right.
But it was good for him to be there and see that. And Philly never led in this game.
No,
It was from tip to buzzer, bro. Pause. And Brooklyn was just, and I was amazed. Seth Curry had great defense. Bruce Brown, Drummond was out there bodying up Embiid. It was just Embiid and
yeah,
Durant got chippy. I was like, oh man, they really like
yeah.
they playing. I've never seen Kyrie play so much up in your face defense like he did tonight.
Well, you know what? I have. You know when I seen Kyrie play that good of defense on a great player, it was game.
2016 finals.
It was game one of the finals when he got hurt. With,
Mm,
and they went to overtime. Remember Cleveland could have won that game, and something happened at the end. They ended up going to overtime, and that's when Kyrie's knee dislocated his kneecap.
okay, okay.
Right, but he was on Steph Curry like wide on rice, man. I was rooting against the Cavs for sure, and I was like, dang man, I don't know if that like I expected the Warriors to play a little bit above the talent level of Cleveland, man, but Cleveland was right there with him, and when Kyrie went down with that kneecap, and then the Warriors pulled it off in overtime. After that, it was all Warriors pretty much. But the way they was playing, that's probably the only game the Warriors would have won. Because Kyrie was giving it to Steph on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
Steph had no answer for him. Yeah, so Kyrie is capable of it. He's a capable defender for sure.
I think we've all forgotten about that just because of the fact that we've gotten so used to just seeing Kyrie being just the scorer. We don't
Yeah,
really get to see too much of Kyrie's defense, but tonight it was like he wasn't letting James go nowhere. Like he was bodying him up from the logo, and James couldn't do nothing.
yeah,
That was most impressive to me was the defense tonight. And I was like, okay, now that
yeah,
you got the defense working, and then the offense just seems to actually finally be an offense instead of a pickup game of all right, 5-on-5, go out and make a bucket to 21. It was like
yeah,
they was actually running some decent offense.
yep.
KD,
Hmm.
man, he had 25, 14, and 7 or something like that. So
Yeah,
he was dishing,
didn't play
and
none of the fourth quarter.
yeah, I mean, they didn't need to, man. Unlike
No.
some superstars, we ain't gonna mention no names.
Yeah, LeBron
But
LeBron playing that fourth.
I
Hey, look,
said I
James
wasn't gonna
Harden.
mention no names.
James Harden ended the game with 11 points. Do you think he would have sat down in the fourth with 11 points? Because
This
they
was
sat
Houston.
James down. They sat
This was
James and Embiid down.
That's smart on Doc. That's smart because like
Yeah, I'm not about to
y'all are
reward you for coming out here and coming out here twerking like a stripper and getting exposed, getting your slip pulled up and all that. And I'm gonna let you go back in the fourth quarter so you won't end the game with only 11 points.
yeah. The
Nah,
game
brother.
was lost. The game was lost. Like at halftime, there was a chance. There was a chance.
Yeah,
But Philly would had to come out at halftime on fire. They had to come out there motivated and rejuvenated from the half and be like, all right, no, we listen, let's go do this.
and they
And
didn't.
they came out flat, and it was just like, yeah, fourth quarter came, and it was like, yeah, this is over with. Put the benches in.
Facts. Did you see how many turnovers James was throwing?
I don't know the exact number, but I know from what I watched, he had at least four.
Yeah, but I mean, it was some of them was on him, but probably didn't get credit to him. Like I seen at least three times. Kyrie did it, Dragic did it, Brown did it, and I want to say I seen Seth do it. On the dribble handoff, there's supposed to be a screen up at the top of the key for
Mm,
Harden.
Yep.
I seen them intercept that multiple times on all
I think
four.
that
On yeah, but I
I
don't think
think
those
that turnover
turnovers
would
went.
still be on him. Not it should because he was the one that had positive control of the ball before the, so it would still probably be on him.
Well, I don't know if that's the case. Then
Matter of
he
fact,
should have.
let me go see. I'm about to go look. Yeah.
While you looking, I'm gonna go ahead and put this 2-for-1 special on the screen, just in case anybody want to hit us up and get that Harden pack, that titty pack, that titties over titles pack. Let us know if y'all want that. It's half off this week. Y'all can get that. But yeah, he
Real
it was
quick,
more.
because I gotta go back to work, but I just looked at this. So they said they credit Harden with four turnovers,
Yeah, I
but
seen
the
7.
entire starting five didn't have a plus minus over. I mean, a plus minus under 23. The whole starting five was minus
Hmm.
24, minus 30, minus 26, minus 30, and minus 23. And the two minus 30s
Disgusting.
was Embiid and Harden.
Disgusting. Disgusting. The only thing that saved Embiid was all those free throws they let him shoot in the first quarter.
Yep. And
Other
Embiid
other
had
than
four
that,
turnovers as well.
yeah, and he only had 5 field goals that he actually made. And shoot, I mean, it was people coming off Brooklyn's bench that had more than 5 field goals. This dude had
Mm-hmm.
almost 20 free throws he shot, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. Go ahead and get back to work, man. I ain't gonna be on here long anyway. I just wanted to get on here and talk about that game a little bit.
For sure.
All right, bro.
All right.
Yeah. The Brooklyn Nets won that trade. It's over, man. I don't want to hear nobody else saying the Sixers won that trade. They got one guy. And you know the crazy thing about it, Brooklyn really was trying to finesse them because they knew Harden wanted to get the field, and they knew Daryl Morey wanted Harden so bad, which is like the dumbest thing I ever seen in my life, man. You seen it not work. That's like getting divorced from a person twice and then going back to them for a third time. Like you keep going to the well on Harden, and it's never worked. You had Harden, and you tried to pair him up with Dwight, and that didn't work. Then you bring in D'Antoni, and you try to pair Harden with others. Instead of having another all star, you just get others and just let Harden be a one man show. And Eric Gordon is a good player, especially in his prime, but he never reached that all star level. But you pair him with guys like that, that's not go demand the ball as much, right? And that didn't work. Then you try to bring in other all stars like CP3. I mean, is if you see what CP3 is doing with Phoenix Suns right now, and Devin Booker as a sidekick, or however you want to look at it, Devin Booker's the main guy, and Chris Paul is just the leader of the team. It's a good dynamic. If you've seen what CP3 was able to do with OKC that one year he was there, it's great. And then you get to see the struggle for power he had with James Harden in Houston for those 2 years, and you can see that tension not working too well, to what the fact that they had to get rid of CP3. And don't forget, Carmelo Anthony showed up there and was there for like less than a month before they cut him because him and D'Antoni probably had issues. So they tried him with CP3 and Carmelo Anthony, didn't work. Then you bring in Westbrook to see if that worked, and once you realize ain't nobody really gonna work with Harden, because in order for Harden to be his best self, he's got to dictate everything. So I guess we thought Harden had a realization that, look, man, I've tried to do it as the leader of the team. Let me go and piggyback off KD and Kyrie and see if I can do it that way. And a wolf can only wear sheep's clothing for too long before it starts itching. So of course he had to break loose out of that and say, I just got to go back to being myself. He couldn't stay around with Brooklyn, and he forced himself to another marriage with his ex-wife, so to speak. Daryl Morey got out there with Joel Embiid and felt like, all right, like, I can go out there and ride his coattail, and everything is starting to shape up to where, hey, it's just the same old Harden. And they was almost about to give Thibault away to Brooklyn in that trade. That's what probably took it so long. Um, and Harden quit on that team a month before that trade went down. So much stuff was going on that we didn't know about. And all the while, Dale Morey is just leaking information to reporters. Like, we know for a fact James Harden wants to be in Philly. And I'm like, where the heck is that coming from? Dale Morey, we know for a fact he wants to be here. So imagine you talking to the Brooklyn Nets front office saying, look, we'll take your issue with James Harden and we'll give you our Ben Simmons issue, right? And everyone's like, nah, we good with what we got over here. James Harden, Kyrie, KD, we good, right? And then all of a sudden, James Harden started acting out, and then it wasn't good no more. And then he stopped playing for the team, and then it wasn't good anymore. And then that type of tension. And it was, what? He not gonna sign the extension. We asked him if he want to be here. He's telling us yes, but we're hearing otherwise in the media and from Daryl Morey, and Daryl Morey keeps calling us what's going on. And I guess somewhere along that lines, they really found out that James really wanted to be gone. I don't think KD and Kyrie really knew that. I think they believed that he wanted to be there, and that's why when they was at the press conference last game, when Kyrie was like, me and James are still good friends, man. I just wish we would have communicated more. That's letting you know he really didn't know what was going on. Nobody knew James Harden really wanted to leave. So in order for Moore to have information that he did, James was telling Brooklyn and his teammates something different, and was talking, or his agent was talking to Moore on the side and saying, look, man, we can get you here with Embiid, and we got plans. We can get a third guy here because it's a rumor that Bradley Beal might be wanting to come. So he looked over there and was like, man, I'll form my own big three there with Daryl Morey, who is my enabler from Houston, who's going to let me play the way I want to play. Steve Nash wouldn't let me play James Harden ball because I got a killer in Kyrie and a killer in KD with rings. I don't have a ring. I ain't all I'm here is a third wheel. If I go back over there with Daryl Morey, he's going to make me the guy, right? The offense is going to be around me. And then if I get a third guy, Bradley Beal, it'll be my squad because Daryl Morey is my zaddy, right? And if it don't work out, guess what's gonna happen? Doc, he already got a bad reputation of having a lot of talent and not being able to do nothing with it, or not being able to do what is expected with that talent. So watch my word. If it doesn't work this year, Doc will be fired. Then Tony will be hired. Daryl Morey already showed you he likes what he likes. So we'll see. But Philadelphia is building their foundation on two unproven commodities and Embiid and Harden, and actually a third unproven commodity with Daryl Morey. Good luck with that. I take my chances with that daggone killer over in there with KD, who's hit multiple big shots in finals, and Kyrie, who's also hit the biggest shot in the final, and shows you when the the stakes are high, their play goes higher. And we just don't have that from James Harden, man. But leave it in the comments, man. Let me know. Do y'all still think Philadelphia won that trade? And what do you see going in the future as far as Philadelphia this year and Brooklyn next this year in the playoffs, and then beyond that? Leave it in the comments, man. Oh, hold on. I got some comments right here before I go. What's up, Lamar? Yes, it's titties over titles, man. It is definitely titties over titles, man. They hung. I mean, they took a chance on that. I mean, you should have seen Doc Rivers on the bench where Kyrie just kept hitting shot after shot, and he was looking like, man, we traded for the wrong guy. we should have we should have been asking for Kyrie. we should have been asking for Kyrie. Funny, yo. And I don't agree that Philly is going to let Harden be the guy as long as Embiid stays healthy. So let me address that right. So what I think we seen, because it's Daryl Morey and Harden. You know, Harden can undermine Embiid and Doc Rivers very easily. Daryl Morey is the GM. He hired everybody, right? He's in charge. Who has the relationship with Daryl Morey is James Harden. So when James Harden first showed up, so first and foremost, just from speculation, James Harden didn't like his role with the Brooklyn Nets. He was okay with it last year when he first showed up because he was the guy that was desperate. He wanted to get out of the Rockets, and he felt like it was going to be an easy ring for him to team up with KD and Kyrie. But no one foresaw that Kyrie would twist his ankle that bad against the Bucks, and then Harden will pull his hamstring, right? So how he planned for it to go didn't go. Like I said, a wolf can only wear sheep clothing so long. So he was trying to be this new guy, this new Harden for the team. But eventually, in order for you to do that, things got to be going right. But when things are not going right, a person that is trying to transform themselves don't feel like transforming themselves anymore for their situation. You know, they just revert back to their old selves and be like, man, why would I be taking this third real role behind Kyrie and KD, and Kyrie can't even play half the games, and X, Y, Z. So it was a little bit of jealousy there, and then there was a little bit of him saying, you know, um, I can do bad by myself, I guess, right? So he left Brooklyn for opportunity to go back and be Harden again, and what better place to do that with his old GM? So what we seen him show up and do is, okay, it's the beginning. I gotta show that I'm for the team like he did with Brooklyn, right? So what was going on with Doc Rivers and Embiid, the offense that was running through Embiid, that you had most of that and a little bit of Harden doing his ISO thing, right? But it was a little bit of Harden also being a distributor a lot. You could see right away it looked dynamic, but you lose your third guy with Harris. Harris touches and opportunities went down, but Maxi's kind of picked up as the third guy. So you think you got a third guy with Maxi, but Maxi's unproven as well. But as time goes on, more of James Harden is gonna pick up because James Harden wants to be James Harden. James Harden also think he is the guy. So you'll see more of James Harden or the Sixers offense looking more like what James Harden was doing with the Rockets. Remember, Daryl Morey loves what James Harden did with the Rockets, and so does James Harden, right? So it's going to look more and more like James, less and less like Embiid. And when you get a game like this, James can't even give you nothing, right? So that's what's going to end up happening. Watch, I'm telling you, man. Seth was in this bag, man, and he was hitting threes and turning around before the shot went in the rim and talking to the 76ers bench. KD was talking to the 76ers crowd. Ben Simmons was on the bench laughing. Drummond was laughing. KD was laughing. It's just good when you can blow a team out and sit down the whole fourth quarter and just laugh. All that booing the 76ers did, boy, it got real quiet in the first quarter. They couldn't even boo no more. It got to a point where they was booing James Harden for all of those turnovers. He had 2 turnovers in a row that turned into layups and dunks. They started booing him. Like, man, what the heck are y'all doing? The crowd left early. It was crazy, man. Philly want to trade big time. Draft who also super a great teammate, great ball distributor, setup man, assist guy, and great defender, a great shooter in Seth, and another defender rebounder. All the things that was missing. They got rid of Jeff Green last year, who was a really good piece for them because he could defend the perimeter and a little bit of the post. He was agile enough. The thing that he gave you that Ben Simmons didn't is the 3-point shot though. So I kind of hate that they got rid of Jeff Green, but Ben Simmons is definitely an upgrade. He's just not gonna give you the shooting. But they gave you Seth in the trade. So I mean, then you pick up Dragic. Then you got Patty Mills. It's just crazy, man. Aldridge didn't even play tonight. They played Claxton and Drummond. That was enough for Embiid. It was. I mean, they just look good. They look real good. The best I've seen them look all year. I don't know if y'all saw, but it looked like there was animosity from Seth to the Philly bench. Yeah, it sure did. It sure did. It could have been fun. It could have been real animosity though. I don't know. I mean, yeah, Claxton is underrated. I've played old friends and old teams, um, and talked some smack, but it was still love. Yeah, we didn't see Blake either. Blake didn't play. Um, Aldridge didn't play. And the problem. I think the problem with Blake is, um, something might be going on where he's not always feeling himself. I don't know if his knees or his back, but he will go one game where his shot can fall, and then he'll get to the next game where he just can't get any shot to fall, or he can't get no lift on his jumps, or none of that. And then he couldn't defend well enough, so he became almost unplayable. Um, Aldridge don't move that well, so he almost can't defend. So they, those you gotta find spots for those two players, and a smart coach can do it. I remember watching Doc do it, and I don't know if it was Doc or his assistants because he had Tom Thibodeau and a whole bunch of good assistants when he was at Philly, but they had some old guys coming off their bench: P.J. Brown, Sam Cassell, James Posey. Man, I love that bench. That was one of my favorite benches on the championship team. Man, James Posey, P.J. Brown, Sam Cassell, and it was two more. I can't remember who it was though, but those three guys was key in that championship run. And they lost all those guys the next season. Um, Cassell and PJ Brown retired, and they let James Posey go, and they didn't win another ring. It's very important to have guys like that you can bring out the bench sparingly, but they shouldn't be your regular rotations and getting heavy minutes and having to defend these young guys for 4 quarters, right? But um, all them jumping out the gym took the light spin out of them knees, man. Yeah, for sure, man. But that's it, man. It's almost 40 minutes, and man, I guess I get in here tomorrow. I'm gonna go see what's going on with Denver and the Warriors right now, man. But leave all the comments in there, man. Definitely leave the comments on the YouTube. We need those comments. That's the lifeline of the channel. That's how we interact with everybody, man. If you're checking this out for the first time, definitely drop a comment and then subscribe, and then share this as well, um, so we can grow this channel, man. But other than that, man, peace.